So we're out here at Mission Bay High School. We're going to do a refurbish on this game mount. A refurbish is when you use the base and build on top of it. It's the most affordable, somewhat easiest way to get a new mount. The first steps that's done prior to a refurbish are to scrape down your mount. So first of all, we determined the rubber was still okay. If you don't need to replace your rubber, you might as well keep it. Everything was scraped down 2 inches. So yesterday, the crew came in with Second Chance Fields, scraped down around 2 inches around the rubber and everywhere. That's going to allow us to put a 2-inch cap. When you put a 2-inch cap on a mound, you're only using 2 to 3 tons, which saves a lot of money and material. The second step is to check the rubber, make sure it's level. So as you can see there, you can see a level on the rubber. There's a tape measure pulling to make sure it's 60 foot 6 inches from the point of home plate, that's the apex, to the front of the rubber. Just don't measure from the front of home plate. It's the front of the rubber to the back point of home plate, 60 foot 6 inches. Then the tricky part is setting the height of your rubber, okay? Most fields have a grade that goes one way or the other. So if you set the height of the rubber 10 inches above home plate, you're gonna have either possibly a really big mound or a really small mound. So when you have a slope on a field, the way I like to set a rubber is go off to the sides. So you can see here, we're off to the side. We've got a bubble level right here that's level, and we're measuring almost 12 inches. Well, it's supposed to be 10 inches. The reason it's 12 is because on that side, it's 8 inches. So we're finding that happy medium to when you walk up, the mound looks right, it's a 10-inch mound, you're gonna have the right slope regardless of the elevation of home plate. So now we're ready to start packing clay. So what tools do you need for a job like this? Sure, there's these fancy tools out there. You can get these vibrating tampers and lasers and all kind of cool stuff. But as far as simple tools, what most people have, we don't have anything fancy here. We've got a steel tape measure. A steel tape measure does not stretch, so that's important. We cut 1 foot at the home plate, so it's going to read 61 foot 6 inches. That makes it a lot easier to read and pull. We've got a simple level to make sure the rubber's set right. We've got a string with another string level to make sure the rubber is set at the correct elevation. That's just a simple string level. And then as far as tools go, all you need is labor. You need some hands to tamp, tampers, a rake like this, and that's pretty much it. Not a lot of fancy tools to do this job. Material selection is an important part of the process, obviously, and there's a lot of factors that come into play. Cost, quality, availability, trucking. You don't want to pay to have something shipped across the country. But in the end, what you're looking for is something that comes in a bag that's been screened, pre-screened, and it's pre-moistened. So you can grab it and make a nice tight ball with it that's going to pack. That's the quickest, easiest way to build a mound when you can just dump it out of the bag and go. This premium packing clay from Matt Gale Materials is a very good choice for high schools and professionals as well. With your tamps, it's essential that you have some type of plastic wrapping on your tamp to prevent the clay from sticking as you're tamping. This is a very simple way right here to wrap the bag up, come around, fold it up just like you're wrapping a Christmas present, put some duct tape around it, then you've got a bottom that's not going to stick as you're working. It makes for a much better tamp. The first thing I like to establish on a mound is the table. The table is something that a lot of mounds don't have. Can really make the pitcher feel a lot more comfortable on the mound. He's got a flat area to work on. Pickoffs are easier. A table at the high school level should be a minimum of 18 inches on each side and 24 in the back, okay? An easy way to do that is with a rake like this. It's 18 inches. So on the side of my table, I know exactly where that 18 inches is. And then I can take this tamp, go out to exactly 18 inches, and do the same in the back with 24. So that's an easy way to establish a table. It's important for a good mound. Okay, so a nice screen can really help you when building a mound or just maintaining a mound. Not all clay material comes as finely screened as this Gale product, so if it doesn't, you can use this screen to make it much more workable. Anybody can build this. Simple trip to the hardware store. It's a 4-mesh screen, 4 holes per square inch, built out of some 2x4s and some braces if you need them. And the thing is, you build it to fit whatever you have. If you have a small utility vehicle with a bed, you can build it to fit that, otherwise a wheelbarrow. So once we get the screen, you take your clay, put it on top, and just simply push it through. And it basically breaks everything up. Very fine clay now. So if you've got a problem with chunky clay, a 4-mesh screen will make it workable. You can spread it out nice and even, build your mound a lot easier. Okay, now that we've got the table in place, we're working on the slopes. Side slopes, back slope, and the front. Okay, as we spread this clay out, it gets dumped on, we'll put it into place. I'm letting the rake find where it goes. So I'm letting the rake go from the top of the table, down the sides, and to the bottom, and just allow your rake to do the work for you. Once you get it spread out like that, then there's gonna be another tamp. So getting it smooth and tamping in lifts is important. We'll probably go through 5 or 6, maybe 7 steps of spreading and tamping to ensure everything gets compacted properly and to minimize settling. When we're finished with this lift here, we'll have one more fine tune. For building the mound, we're almost done. We're checking the slope. You want to drop 1 inch per foot on the slope. Recommended layout tells you to make it flat here, 6 inches, and start 6 inches in front. I disregard that and start the slope right away because most people end up having a flat area in front of the rubber that becomes a problem. So by starting the slope right in front of the rubber, you avoid that. So we're coming 1 inch drop for every foot till we get to 6 feet, 6 inch drop. This is an easy, effective way to verify your slope with simple tools. String level, 2 tape measures, and a piece of rebar. So the final step with the mound is kind of like the icing on the cake here. We're putting the conditioner on. So everything's been tamped in, slope's been verified, the mound's just about ready to go. Conditioner is something that's essential for a mound. It allows you to water it and work it and play on it without it sticking to your shoes. Helps you attain the proper moisture, and it also is going to give a nice finish to the mound. So we'll spread this out, put a light coating of water on it, and they'll be ready to go. Then we'll go over some maintenance tips with them to make sure they can take care of it and keep up their mound on a yearly basis. Once it's here, it should last for a long time, as long as it's taken care of or renovated on a yearly basis.